Buenas tardes a todos. Ahí ya
Okay,
puso
so good
la
afternoon,
intérprete,
everybody.
revisó
There,
que
the
todo se
interpreter
encuentre
just
normal.
copied the message in the
Ok,
chat.
bueno, esta ha sido una
Okay,
semana
so this
fuerte,
has
por lo
been a
que veo. Una
strong
semana allí
week. I'm seeing that this has
de
been a
mentalidad,
week of
de
mindset,
creatividad,
of
¿verdad?
negativity,
Ha sido una
right?
semana que hemos estado
It's
tratando
been a week
temas
that we have been
importantes,
talking about
porque
important
fíjense,
issues
estaba hablando
because
el otro día, ¿no?
I
Estábamos
was
hablando
talking
Carlos
the
y
other
yo,
day with Carlos and
y
Jay,
comentábamos que el
and we were talking about
producto
the fact that the
se sabe
product
que funciona,
is something that
porque
works.
tenemos demasiados
We know that
testimonios
we
en
have
nosotros
something
mismos
that works
y
because we
lo que
have so many
escuchamos que
testimonials,
funciona
not only in
y
ourselves,
cada vez
but
son más y
testimonials that
más
we
y más. So,
continuously
sabemos que el
listen to.
producto
And
funciona.
each time there's more and
Entonces
more and more. So we
entendemos que
know
los
that the product
entrenamientos
works.
deben ir
We
más
understand that
dirigidos,
the trainings
no en
now
la
should be
parte
more
de que
directed
si
to,
eres nuevo, si estás
remember, if
reciente,
you're new,
hay algunas
if you
personas que
were
están en la
recent,
llamada
there
que
are
son
some people
recién
who
que
are in the
entraron,
call
que son nuevos,
that
déjenmelo
just
saber en el
came who
chat,
are
a
new.
ver,
Let me
para
know
que
in the
sepan la
chat, please,
estructura un
so you can
poquito.
know the
Hay
structure
alguien
of
nuevo
this.
acá, sea conmigo
There
directo,
is
sea
there
al
somebody
final, no
new
importa,
here
somos un
directly or
solo
with the
equipo,
team?
somos
It doesn't
todos.
matter. We're one
¿Alguien
team.
nuevo? Si me
It's all of
ponen,
us together.
si
Anybody
pueden en
new
el chat,
here?
please. Ok, Marta Canas.
Marta
Juana,
Canas,
sí, Juana, estuve hablando
Juana.
contigo. Perfecto. Ok, todos los
Perfect.
lunes hay llamada para los
Each
nuevos,
Monday there is a call
todos
for
los lunes.
everyone new.
Y en esa llamada pasamos por todo lo que ustedes
And in
tienen
that
que
call, we
saber de
have
la
to
página
go
web, del
and
producto,
see
etcétera,
everything that
¿verdad?
has
De
to
cómo
do with
encontrar
a
los
web page, the
entrenamientos,
product,
de cómo
etc.
estar en los
How to find
chats,
the
el mensaje de
trainings, how to find the
bienvenida.
chats, the welcome
Siempre los
message.
lunes van a
Every
recibir una
Monday, you're
agenda
going to receive an
electrónica,
agenda, an
no vayan a creer
electronic
que van a
agenda.
recibirla en su casa,
Don't think that you're
es
going
una
to receive it in
agenda,
your house. It's an
¿verdad?
agenda
Que ponemos en el
that
canal de
we
información
put
de
in
cada
the
chat para que
information
ustedes
channel
sepan
channel
los
and in each
entrenamientos que
chat for
tenemos.
you to know what
Entonces les
trainings we
decía
have.
que ya el producto
So
está
I was saying
probado.
that the product is
Durante esta
tested.
semana quisimos tratar
During this
mentalidad,
week,
porque
we
es una
wanted to
realidad.
try out the mindset because
Todo
that's our
siempre
reality.
comienza en la mente.
Everything
Y
starts
tratamos
with the mind.
diferentes temas. Hoy
And
yo
we
voy
treat
porque
different
quería
topics
profundizar.
that I wanted to
Yo
get
hablo todos
into
los días con personas
because
nuevas, con
I
personas del
speak every day
equipo, con
with new
personas que
people of
recluto,
the
con
team,
personas que
people who I
prospecto,
recruit,
hago
people
eventos
who I
en vivo,
prospect.
hago de
I do
todo.
live
So,
events.
tengo el contacto
I do
con el
everything.
gente
So I
allá
truly
afuera
do have the contact out
y
there
con personas del equipo. Y lo que veo es
and with
la
the team.
dificultad
And what I
con
see is a
respecto a
difficulty
el no.
about
Se mueren la
knows,
gente
how
en el
to
equipo.
deal with a no. People die
Cuando
when they
estás
receive a
empezando
no in
o
their
has tenido
beginning
una
or
experiencia
when you've
anterior de
had
no,
a
no
previous
importa.
experience.
Los
It
no
doesn't
los
matter.
paralizan.
No's
O el
paralyze
miedo
you.
de que
Or
esto
the
nunca lo he
fear
hecho,
of,
estoy
I've
aprendiendo,
never done
es
this,
nuevo para mí.
I'm
Y
learning,
la
this is new
verdad
for
es lo que
me.
quiero tratar hoy. ¿Por qué? Porque
And
ya les he
that's what I want to
comentado
talk
antes,
about today.
cuando no
And it's because
enfrentamos esos temores,
when
no
we
podemos
don't
avanzar.
reach out
Hoy de hecho le voy a
and face those
enseñar algo nuevo que
fears,
pusimos
we don't grow.
en
And today I'm going
boards
to show you
y
something
son
new that we
scripts
posted
o
in boards.
escritos, ¿verdad? Tengo la palabra en la boca y no me sale en español, si alguien me
How do you
ayuda.
say that?
Guiones,
Script?
gracias Lidia,
Yes,
gracias.
exactly. The
Guiones,
scripts,
guiones
those are the
para
scripts
diferentes
for
situaciones que
different
ustedes pueden usar y
situations that you
están
can
en
use,
boards, ¿ok?
and they
La
are
información
in
en boards. Pero
boards,
eso
in the
voy a
boards
llegar
app.
ahí en algún momento del entrenamiento. Lo que quiero hablar hoy es del miedo,
So
de
I
ese
want to talk
rechazo, de ese
about
miedo al
fear, the
rechazo, de
fear
ese
to
miedo al
reject,
no.
to be
Cómo
rejected, the
enfrentarlo,
fear
cómo
to
estar preparada,
a no.
preparado para que eso no te
How to
afecte,
be
para que no lo tomes
prepared for
personal
this not
y
to
para que tú
affect
puedas
me, for you
conectar
not to take it
con seguridad.
personally,
A mí me
and
encanta
for
porque
you to connect
conectamos
with
con
safety.
seguridad
I love
cuando
that because we
aceptamos
connect
también lo que no
safely
sabemos.
when we
Y hay
accept
muchas
what we don't
personas
know yet.
que esperan
And there
tiempo
are
para
many people
prepararse
who wait
antes
some
de poder
time to
hablar
get
con alguien y
prepared
presentarle la
before they can
oportunidad o
talk to
hablarle del
someone
producto.
and
Y yo hoy
introduce
lo que
them to
quiero
the
tratar contigo
opportunity
es,
or the
ok, cómo
product. So what I want to
lidiar
talk to
con
you
todo
about
esto que realmente es
is how can we
emocional,
face
pero que
all
primero
this,
tienes
which
que
is
ver la
emotional,
raíz
but
en ti.
sometimes you
¿Por
have
qué
to
te
first
sientes
see the
así?
root in you.
¿Por qué los no te
Why do you feel
afectan
like
tanto?
this?
¿Por
Why do
qué a lo
no's
mejor
affect
todavía
you
no estás
so
lista
much?
para dar una llamada
Why
o una
not being ready
presentación?
for a
¿Te
presentation
afecta?
call
¿Por qué te
can
lanzas en la
affect
cama?
you?
¿Por qué todavía te
Why
da
do you throw
temor? ¿Por qué
yourself
te
on the
da
bed? Why
vergüenza
are you still
decir que tú
afraid?
haces
Why
esto?
are you
¿Por
embarrassed
qué?
to say that
El
you do
otro día
this?
alguien me
Why?
escribía en las redes y me
The other
decía,
day,
óyeme,
somebody was
ahora de vender
writing to
champú
me on
pasas a
social
vender
media and
parches.
saying, hey, you passed from selling
Cualquier
shampoo
otra
to selling
persona
patches.
puede
Any other
sentirse
person might feel
realmente destruido por
truly
un mensaje como ese.
destroyed for a
Yo te
mess
puedo
from a message
explicar que a
like
mí
that.
no me
I can explain to you that I didn't feel upset. I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone else. You know, there has been times that I did want to choke someone. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone. I'm saying that we are responsible of training ourselves for that not to affect us. And that training is here. That training is in what we do every day. So today I want to talk to you about giving you a few examples of how to help you. If you want to grow in the business, you need to have a thick skin. Okay? Because this is a business that you have to treat with people. It's a business about talking to people. You're going to talk about a product. We have everything to win because it's a unique product that nobody else has. But you have to know that the no or the yes doesn't depend only on the product. It doesn't depend only on how you explained it. It also depends on the situation that that person is in that you are talking to. Person that you're talking to is in. So the fear of reject isn't eliminated with time. It's defeated with practice, with focus, and with daily action. Now, my question for you is, are you facing fear? Or are you allowing fear to dominate you? I would love it if you could write that down in the chat. I would love it if you could say, hey, I'm paralyzed with fear. Or, hey, I don't act when I'm in fear. Or, Rachel, I don't mind. I just move on. Let's see what you write down in the chat, please. Are you asleep today? Is everyone asleep today? Very well, Olivia. I don't care. Thank you, Olivia. Don't be afraid, Blanca. I truly get paralyzed. Okay, Cindy, no problem. I don't get paralyzed with fear. I fear about social media. I don't care. I move on. I face fear every day. I move forward. No fear. I face it. Okay, very well. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who's talking about this. I like to talk to you. I don't want this to be just a dialogue with myself. That's why I do this exercise with you, because if you don't practice it, I'm practicing it. But if you don't practice, you're not going to have the result that you want. There is all kinds of people here. There are people who have had this experience before and have been successful. There are people who didn't have a good experience with this. There are people who rejected an opportunity like this. So, depending on where you are, I want to help you to advance and grow and be successful, because this is an amazing business. This is an industry that helps other people, not only LifeWave. I believe in the multi-level industry. I truly do. I've seen a lot of people. And what this multi-level industry does is help others depending on what needs they have. So why can we win? Because our product covers so many areas of problems and needs. It's not one only thing. It covers way too many areas. Without, so the reach of the help it can give is much bigger than others. If you think about other companies, they need a lot of products. Look at us just with one product. If we're just going to focus on X39, the company went from 2020 in 1 year from 60 million to $320 million. Think about that. When this has changed, when they launched X39, and I'm not saying that the other patches aren't good, but X39 made a difference, and we closed 2024 with $690 million, focusing on one product, because this shows you that the product works and that the product covers many, many of the needs that we have out there. So the product, don't worry about that. Look at yourself. Look at you, what doesn't allow you to connect with people, what doesn't allow you to have a yes, or for people to want to be with you and work with you, what doesn't allow you to dare to talk to more and more people, what doesn't allow you to be in the trainings, what is it that doesn't allow you to do what you have to do. That is truly what you need to focus on. And I see many, many people, and you know what they do? Mike, what are you doing for things to work out? Hey, Juan Carlos, Esteban, what did you do to reach the last rank? Hey, it's okay if you ask, but the correct question is, what are they doing that I am not doing? That is a correct question. And that is a question that almost nobody does. So when you ask a leader, when you ask somebody who is where you want to be, to hear and observe how they act, how they talk, how is their routine, at what time do they wake up, What do
camina,
they do?
cómo se
What books
expresa,
do they
cuántas
read?
veces
How do
muestra
they
más en las
walk?
redes
How do
sociales
they
o en
express
línea.
themselves?
Y
How
entonces
many times do
observa
they
y
do social
analiza
media?
de eso
And
que él
observe
hace o
and
ella hace,
analyze out of
que yo
this that
estoy
he or she
haciendo y que yo
does,
no estoy
what
haciendo.
am
Y
I doing
ahí
and what am I
vas
not
a
doing?
poder ver
And
por
there
qué
is
tú no
where you're
tienes
going to
éxito
be able to see why you don't
o
have
por qué no
results
estás donde tú
or
necesitas
why you
estar.
are not
La
where you
mayoría
want
de
to
las
be
personas
yet.
miran,
Most of the people
preguntan,
look,
pero no accionan.
they
Entonces,
ask,
uno de
but they
esos
don't take action.
clavas, uno de
So
esos
one of
enemigos que
those
tenemos
enemies, one of those
he hablado con
challenges
muchas personas
is
que una
that
vez
no.
están felices.
I've
Ay,
spoken
qué
to many
feliz, entré a la
people
compañía,
who are
vinieron,
very
pasaron el
happy
primer
because they enrolled
entrenamiento,
into the
Rachel,
company.
estoy
They
chévere.
did the first
¡Pum!
training.
Reciben un
Rachel,
no,
I'm doing
casi
great.
siempre de alguien
They receive a
conocido o
no,
de la familia,
normally from somebody from the
o
family or somebody
alguien
they know,
cercano,
an
se
acquaintance, or
traumatizan.
somebody close to them,
Entonces, ¿qué es
and
lo
they
que
are
yo quiero?
traumatized. So what is it that I
Enseñarte
want
y
you to
quiero hoy
do?
que
I want
reflexiones
to
y abrir
teach you
tus
and I want
ojos
you to
a que
reflect
el
on this
no
and for
es
you to
parte de
open your
esto.
eyes to
El no
understand
es tu
that no
plataforma
is part
para
of
ir
this.
más.
That
El
no
no
is
es
your
tu
platform towards
práctica
success.
para
That
llegar a donde
no
tú quieres
is your
estar.
practice for
Entonces hay
you to
varias cosas
reach
que yo
your
quisiera que tú
goals. So there are a
analizaras.
few
¿Por
things that
qué?
I would like you
¿Por
to
qué es que nos
analyze. For
estancamos?
example, why do we get
¿Por qué es
stuck?
que no avanzamos?
Why don't
Hay
we
diferentes
move forward?
causas y a mí
There
me
are different
gustaría,
causes,
y
and
eso
I
lo
would
van a
like
ver,
it if,
les pregunto,
look, you're going to
¿está
see
bien si
this
yo
question.
vamos haciendo
Is it okay?
preguntas y ustedes van
It's
contestando?
okay
¿Está
if
bien?
we can ask
Porque, por
questions
ejemplo,
and you
miren lo
can
que quiero
answer. What
hacer.
do you think? Because look, for example, this is what I want to do.
Eh,
Let's see.
sí, pero ahora no es pregunta, ¿viste? Vamos a
Okay,
entrenar y
but
después,
no,
si
it's
hay
no
tiempo,
questions yet.
hacemos
We're
las
going to
preguntas. Si
train
no, lo ponen acá en el
first,
chat
and
o me
if
lo envían
there's time, we'll
directo.
ask
Vamos a
questions. If
hacer el
not, you can write it
entrenamiento
down in the chat or
y
send it
después ustedes
directly to me,
contestan.
okay?
Si hay
So let's
tiempo,
do the
mientras voy
training, and
haciendo
if
esto, hacemos
there's
una llamada
time,
de
we're going to
presentación.
answer questions
Por
because
ejemplo, todos
remember,
los
there's a
jueves es llamada de
presentation call
presentación.
afterwards. Every
Entonces,
Thursday, there's
¿qué
a
es lo que quiero que
presentation
lo
call.
vean ustedes?
So what I want you
Decirles
to see,
varias causas, cómo
I'm
se
going to give you many
manifiesta.
causes,
Después le voy a dar la
how it
solución, pero antes de
manifests,
darle
and
la
afterwards I'm
solución,
going to give you
me
the solution.
gustaría que
And
ustedes me
before the
dijeran
solution,
con
I would
cuál de
like
estas
you
se
to tell me
identifican.
with which
Entonces
one of
ahora,
these
¿qué
do
es
you
lo que tú tienes que hacer?
identify.
Prestar atención,
So what do you have to
porque
do
vas a
now?
observarte a ti.
You have to pay
Vas a ser
attention
honesta,
because you're going to
honesta.
observe yourself.
Escúchame,
You're going to be
la
honest with
mayoría de las
yourself.
gente no
Listen
hace
to this.
esto y no
Most of the
hacemos y
people,
por eso
they
no
don't do
avanzan
that
en la vida.
exercise and they don't realize that
Porque
that's
se
why
la
they don't
pasan analizando al resto del
grow in
mundo, pero
life
no se analizan
because they're
ellos.
analyzing the whole world but not themselves.
No hablan con ellos, no se examinan ellos, ni su corazón,
They
ni
don't
su
examine
rutina, ni lo
themselves.
que hacen, no lo hacen. Entonces
They
yo quiero
don't
ayudarte
talk to
porque si
themselves, their
tú
heart, the
realmente
routine,
aplicas
and what
esto,
they're
tú
doing.
vas a poder
So if
ver
you
qué
truly
te está
apply this,
faltando.
you're
Tú vas
going
a
to be
poder
able to
ver tus
see what
debilidades,
you're missing. You're
no
going
para
to see your
castigarte,
weaknesses,
no para juzgarte,
not
para
to
mejorarlas
judge
y
yourself, not to
trabajarlas.
punish
Entonces, una de
yourself,
las causas,
but to
inseguridad
improve and to
personal.
work on yourself.
Yo por
So
muchos
one of the
años,
causes is
muchos años, fui
lack
una mujer
of confidence.
muy
During
insegura.
many years, I
Increíblemente,
was a
en los
woman with
momentos
a
en que más
great
éxito yo
lack of
tenía,
confidence.
era
Incredibly, in
cuando
the
más
moments that I was
inseguridad
most
me
successful,
acompañaba. Yo
it
me
was
vestía
when the
preciosa, yo me
lack of
vestía con
confidence was
inseguridad.
greater in me. I
Increíble, es
dressed
una ironía
myself
de la
that way.
vida, pero es
I
la
dressed
realidad.
myself with
Por eso es que
insecurity.
hoy soy tan
It's an
apasionada con el
very
trabajo personal.
ironic and incredible.
Porque si
That's
yo
why I
hubiese
feel so
tenido a Dios
passionate
en
about
primer lugar, que toda la
personal
gloria es para
work.
Él, siempre lo digo.
I wouldn't have
Pero después
had
de ahí,
God, first of all,
profesión o un
God, because all the
corazón
glory is for
dispuesto
Him. I always
a
say that.
trabajar en mis
But also the
debilidades,
willingness
yo
and
no
a
hubiese
willing
podido
heart
llegar a
to
donde
work on my
estoy. Desde el
weaknesses, I
2020, que
wouldn't be
empecé a ser
able to
empresaria,
be where I
en
am since
5 años, que voy
2020
a
that I
cumplir,
started my
poder haber
entrepreneurship.
avanzado tanto.
And in
No
5
es porque yo
years,
soy la mejor
haven't been
del
able
mundo,
to
no.
advance
Es
so
porque yo me
much and grow so
apasioné
much. And it's not because I'm better
por
than anyone.
aprender de mí
It's because I
y
felt
por
passionate
superar
with learning from myself
todas esas debilidades que
and
todavía están en mi
with
camino,
overcoming
pero he
all my
avanzado, puedo
weaknesses. And I'm
celebrar
still
mis
on my
avances,
way. But
puedo
I've
mirar mis
grown and I
errores
can
para
celebrate
aprender
that I've
y
grown.
puedo decir
I
se
can
lo
see the
hice.
mistakes and I can
Entonces,
say, I want more.
inseguridad personal es un gran enemigo de
So,
los seres humanos. ¿Cómo se manifiesta?
insecurity is a
Bueno,
great
y
enemy
si,
of
y
human
si cree
beings.
la
And how
gente que
does
esto
it
es real,
manifest? If people don't think this
y
is
si cree
real,
la gente que esto es una mentira,
if people think
me puedes
this is a
poner si esto es
lie,
algo que tú
can you
sientes,
let me know if this is something that you feel?
me pueden poner.
Can you please
Tú
write that
tienes
down
miedo a
in the
hablar de
chat?
esto
Are
porque
you
crees que
afraid
la
to
gente
talk
va a
about this
pensar que es
because you think
mentira.
people are going to think it's
Tú
a lie?
tienes temor porque no crees que tienes en tu mano algo valioso. Tú
Are you
piensas que
afraid to thinking about to talk about this because you think people are not going to believe that you have something good to share. Let me tell you that that has nothing to do with the product. It has to do with you. You don't believe that what you bring to the table is valuable.
¿Entiende?
You understand?
Otra de las causas, rechazos
Another one
previos.
of the causes, previous rejections. How do you manifest a previous rejection? Well, I already tried before and it doesn't work. You have no idea how many people have said that to me. No, I already tried once. I started a business and it didn't go well. No, once I already did multi-level and it was a disaster. I lost the money. No, once and no once and no once. all the time. Well, examine why that time things didn't go well. Maybe it wasn't the company, maybe you weren't ready for that. Well, check yourself. Check that. Another one of the causes, comparing, and she says it better than me. One of the things that come with me that I have to face is people say, oh, like since she worked 25 years on TV, she knows how to speak. You know what I fight with? For people to think, oh, since she speaks well, there's no truth behind what she says. If you're a person and you're someone that tries every day to give your best with the best you have, and you have reached a unique opportunity, like what this product is, this company is, and you wanting to grow and to be better, there can be nothing wrong there. You're going to win. You're going to continue winning. You're going to continue winning a place. You're going to continue winning respect. You're going to win credibility. And all that is fruits that you're going to pick up. Right now, you're cultivating maybe. But don't start comparing yourself to anybody. Look at yourself each time that you realize that you're comparing yourself. Go back and look forward. Go back and look. These things I'm telling you should never stop you from anything that you want to do or anything that you have to do. This is an amazing business, but we need to take action every day. And today I was hearing a video training. I was in the gym, and I saw a video on YouTube. And I was hearing somebody speaking, and they were talking about the best business model in the Bible. Obviously, there are some people, I'm talking about my experience. And she said that the best business model is in the Bible. You have to search for partners. You have that here. You have to be obsessed with helping others. Here you have that. If you have a partnership or you have people who feel the passion to help others and you have in your hand what helps others, what can fail in that? Maybe something that wasn't reborn in you, something that you haven't developed. Don't be afraid if there's something that you need to develop. I remember that when I started in multi-level for the first time, the first company I was in didn't know anything about leadership or sales or mindset. So nothing, there was nothing there. But I felt passionate about learning, hunger about learning. If you don't know what every patch is for, learn what every patch is for and dedicate a time to that every day. If you don't know how to sell, how to connect, feel passionate with having mentorships, videos. If you don't have money for mentorship and you want to invest right now because you have other priorities in life, okay, perfect. The best academy and free is YouTube. The best academy. Start searching for videos. How do I work multi-level? How do I connect? Search for it. Do the research and learn and feel passionate about learning. Audiobooks, podcasts. Look at me. Currently, nowadays, who doesn't grow is because they don't want to grow. I'm sorry for saying things like that. Who doesn't advance in life is because they're stuck in 20 years ago. Currently, we have the same industry, which is amazing. You have in your hands a unique product that not everybody has, and you also have a technology and resources that we give you in this team. And if you don't use them, it's because you're lazy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying that. It's because of just laziness. It's because you don't put in the calendar the time that you need to study and respect it. It's because you don't analyze which are your weak areas that you have to strengthen. And I see people who blame the leaders, the economy, that you can't talk about stem cells suddenly. Come on. No. Look at yourself. What can I do? How can I grow? What? It's lack of practice. That's another cause. Personal insecurity, previous rejections, comparison, and lack of practice. Prepare a guide and practice it. How many people here? I know there's a lot of new people. How many people here have been in role play calls that Carlos and Jay have done a million times? Scripts that we've done thousands of times. And the one who just got here, hello, there is a YouTube channel. In YouTube, you have all the calls that are recorded. I have a girl here who's going to be under the spot. Her name is Carlita. And Carlita, since she started, she sent me more trainings and more studies that she's doing. I had never seen all that in my life. And she hasn't even been 3 weeks in the business. She knows everything by heart. She was hungry for learning. She said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this correctly. She even took a picture of herself and said, I'm going to print the graph of senior director because that is a goal that I can reach, a reachable goal, and I'm going to put it in front of me. When I hear those things, I say, wow, she's going to reach the top of the company. Now, on the other hand, we have people who are still on their way to personal growth. Don't feel bad about that. I was there too. I was lost and I had to feed on books and I had to include into my calendar hours and hours of studying and mentorship. Actually, Solangeli and I re-encountered after TV and at Brooks and Brookson conference, who is the master of the filters. And that's where we met again and we were like, oh my God. So reinvent yourself. Be hungry and want, feel like improving and being better, not criticizing whoever does it better, not criticizing whoever does it like you, of elevating yourself from inside to the outside in knowledge, in practice, in help, in service, in understanding what you have in front of you, what you have in your hands. You have to fall in love with this. If you don't wake up every day with really hunger, an enormous hunger, you have to examine yourself, not the product, not the world, not Instagram, not your friend that said no, not the team that said that they would do something when they said they were going to run. Examine yourself. That's where you need to focus, exactly there. So look at this. Where does the fear of reject come from? From many places. Common roots normally are personal insecurities, past experiences, and a lack of clear identity. We have always said that one of the first things that you have to do is understand your why. Your why? There are women here who have said, my why is because I forgot about myself after having my kids, and now I want to start my path again. I love that. I know that is an amazing why. There are some people that say, my why is because I want to pay my family, my parents, whatever. I want to buy a house. What is your why? And write down your why. And after writing down your why, write down your goal. How much do you want to generate every week? I ask that to everybody I speak to that I'm prospecting for the business. What you earn, do you feel happy about that? No, not at all. How much would you like to earn? You know, at the first time, I never forget that Jay asked me that question. I didn't know what the number was. I didn't understand. When you don't know the number, you don't know where you're going to. Because a dollar can be more money, one more dollar. So since you have in your mind, I have a clear number, and I'm not embarrassed to say it, I want to reach $50,000 a week. $50,000 a week by the end of this year. That is my goal. After a year and a half in the business. That is my goal. And I'm going to work everything I can to reach that. So don't be embarrassed about talking about money. And if you're embarrassed, that's one of the roots that you need to check your relationship with money. They have put into our head that aspiring for more means that you're an arrogant. It means that you are just materialistic and that you're wrong in the world. Okay, what's wrong is if your heart is only thinking about money That's wrong. But if you have your clear priorities, you know who goes in number one, your priority number one, you're going to serve to your priority number one. I serve God, but I know that if I work and I produce more, I'm going to have more liberty to be able to take the word of God to all the places that my husband and I want to go bless others. That is my goal. What is yours? If you don't write it down, if you don't write it down, you're not going to have it. You're not going to be able to walk because then your address, your guide, your excitement is not guided by your why. And what happens when you have a why? When you don't feel like it, you're going to stop. When you don't have motivation, you're going to stop. That's called discipline. Doing what you have to do even if you don't feel like doing it. I always repeat that once and over and over and over again because that's the reality of life. So what do we have to do? We have to reprogram our minds. What do we have to think? You have to think, I'm offering a solution. This isn't a sales, okay? Repeat that. I'm offering a solution. This is not a sale. Not everybody is going to say yes to this, but that's not going to stop me. It's not going to stop me. I am somebody's voice that needs hope. I want you to know something. For each person that, due to being afraid, you don't talk to about what you have and about this product and this technology, that is a person that is going to, that you're going to stop blessing. So an emotion from yours that comes from fear, not from God's blessing, is controlling what you can, the good that you can do. If you start seeing as service, you're going to see that it's your responsibility. What we have in our hands is our responsibility. Because whoever doesn't have health, whoever doesn't feel good, who has pain, who has a condition that doesn't let them have a true quality of life, that person is a problem. So imagine if you bring to their hands what can help them, what can bless them, what can change their lives. There's no check.
No hay nada más hermoso que eso. Y como consecuencia, vas a empezar a tener resultado porque entonces no pones
And
los
as a
ojos
consequence, you're
en el
going to
dinero
start
que vas
seeing
a
results because you don't put your eyes on the money you're going to earn. You put your eyes on the amount of people that you're going to help.
todo se transforma.
That's
Pero
where
eso no
everything
hay manera de
transforms. But there is
soportarlo.
no way
No hay manera
to
de
be able
resistirlo,
to
de
resist
soportarlo.
that.
No hay manera de
There is no
enfrentarlo
way to
sin hacer
face it
un trabajo
if it's not with a
personal,
personal or intentional job.
¿Cuántas veces te ha pasado que tú sales de una reunión de acá
How many times has it happened
muy emocionado? Y
that
pasan
you
2
get
días
out of a meeting
y
like
ya se te
these
olvidó
and
hasta
you're
dónde fue que
super
metiste el
excited,
link de la
super
reunión.
excited. And after a few days, you forget even where you put the link for the call. How many times? If you're honest, tell me with yourself, because again, this is an exercise for you with yourself. Because once we finish, I follow my calendar and I follow what I have to do every hour. But this is with yourself. If I don't do this with myself, I wouldn't be here. If I don't do this with myself, I wouldn't be living in Tulsa with my husband for 2 years. I wouldn't be here. If I don't do this with myself, I wouldn't have the program that I have from women from less to more. I wouldn't have this here. You know what happens? That you need to be obsessed and passionate with having a good relationship with yourself and getting to know yourself and to know what is it that I want, not what Rochelle wants, not what Carlos wants, not what Jay wants. No, me here in my heart, what do I want? And with that you want, you have to give it all you've got. From the day that you wake up to the day that you go to bed, you have to continue thinking about that. Don't let it be something temporary. Because listen to me, what you produce is temporary. Whatever is monetary, the trips, it's temporary. It finishes. But what you're growing inside of you, when you face the no and you don't take it personally, when you don't stop talking to people, when you accept reject and you continue forward, when you're against what you think of being lazy, when you're against the training, when you're against those people that you know that you've called 70 times and they've never replied, that growth, you're going to have that in eternity. Forever and ever, you're going to have that.
fundamental. Espérense,
So
que
it
no
is,
está abierto. Entonces,
okay,
es
it is
eso.
crucial.
Piensa, reflexiona en eso.
Think about it and reflect about that.
Entonces, hay una herramienta que es
So there is a
tener un guión,
tool which
¿verdad?
is having
Dentro de un guión hay
a
una
guide.
estructura.
In the guide, there's a
Eso lo hemos
structure.
hablado en
We've
todas las
spoken
clases de roleplay.
about this in all the role
Todas las
play
clases
classes, in all of
de
them.
roleplay. Te quiero dejar estas afirmaciones
I want to
que
leave
quiero que
these
las tengas en
affirmations
cuenta
that I want
para
you to
ti,
take into
que son
account for
algunas de las que
yourself,
yo
which are
conversé
some of the
ahora en el
affirmations that
círculo.
I spoke about or I mentioned right now.
Te lo voy a poner ahí.
Let me put them here.
Pónganlas ahí. Esas 5,
Listen to
háganle
them.
copy y
Those
manténganlas con
5,
ustedes.
copy
Yo
them
soy
and
la voz
maintain
de
them
alguien
with
que
you. I
necesita
am
esperanza.
somebody's
El
voice
que
who
se burla
needs
hoy puede unirse
hope.
mañana.
Whoever is laughing today
Cada
might be
conversación
with
es
us
más
tomorrow.
siembra
Every
que juicio.
conversation is
Mira lo que te estoy
not
diciendo como una siembra.
judging, it's
Entonces, hablando de
cultivating.
los guiones,
So talking
tú debes
about
tener,
this
otra cosa que me gustaría que
script,
hiciéramos con esto del
I
guión, que
want to
ahora mismo
say
se me va
something,
rápido,
something
pero
that I
lo
would
voy a
like you to
buscar.
know. I'm going to share my
Eh,
screen.
que cada uno de ustedes
And each
grabe
one of
mientras
you
termina,
records a testimonial.
graba quién eres,
Can you record
por
who
qué
you
haces
are,
esto,
why you're
por
doing
qué tú
this,
haces Liveway, por
why
qué tú
you're
estás en
doing
Be the Light si eres
LifeWave,
miembro,
why you're in
por qué
Be the
estás en
Light,
Liveway, vamos a dejarlo ahí,
why you're in LifeWave.
por qué
Let's
estás
leave
en
it like
Liveway,
that,
por qué estás en
generic.
este
Why are
negocio.
you in LifeWave? Why are
Si
you in the
tienes algún
business? Why did you
testimonio
enroll? If you have a
que has
testimonial,
visto que impacta
what
a
have
otros,
you seen that has impacted others?
grábate tu videíto, tenlo listo.
Record your
Y
video
cuando
and
hablas
have it
con
ready.
alguien,
When you
tú le
speak to
dices,
someone, you can say,
mira, yo entré a esto por
look,
esto,
I
tengo un
enrolled into
video,
this because
pasé
of this
esto,
and that. I have a
te voy
video
a contar
for
cómo lo
this
hice
and
aquí
that.
para que tú
Let me
entiendas
tell you how I
un
reached this
poquito.
so
Y
you
envías
can
el video
understand a
y
little
te
bit and you
enseñas.
can send them
Pero
your
quiero
video and have that
enseñarte
ready.
algo
But I
que
want to
hicimos
show you
en,
something that we did.
¿dónde está? Acá.
Where is this? Okay, here it
Boards.
is.
Aquí
In
está.
boards.
Screen.
Screen.
Miren,
Okay, here it is. Look at this.
dígame si ven la pantalla.
Let
¿Sí
me
la
know
ven?
if you see the screen. Can you see it?
Déjenme saber si la ven.
Let me know. Can you
Gracias.
see it? Thank you, Shart.
No veía a nadie más.
Because I couldn't see anyone
Ok,
else.
esto, ustedes si tienen el board de Be the Light,
This, if you have
te
the
va a
Be the
llevar
Light
acá.
board, this is
Todo lo
going to
tenemos en
take you here.
inglés y
We all
todo lo
have it in
tenemos en
English
español.
and we all have it in
Absolutamente
Spanish.
todo.
Absolutely
Cuando
everything.
entras al de español,
When you
dice
enroll
diferentes
into the
categorías.
Spanish one, look at
Esto se
it's
lo dejamos
divided by
acá a las
categories.
personas que tienen
We
una
have this
relación con
here
Dios y eso lo
for
hemos
whoever
hablado.
has a
Esto es
relationship
una
with God.
oración
I
que
sent
ustedes
it to
pueden
you the
hacer
other day. This is a
todos los
prayer
días. A mí me
that you
encanta
can do
encomendarle
every
mi día
day.
a mi
I
equipo
love
y
to
pedirle
giving my
guía a las
day to
personas
my
que
team,
oran por
whatever
mí, que
God
oran
wants, the
conmigo,
people
que
that
me
are
dan
going to
consejos.
enroll
Me
with me.
encanta, no, es mi
This is something that
plan
I do.
para mí
This is a
diario
plan for me
recomendaciones. Pero a lo que iba es esto.
daily. But what I
Acá
wanted to get to is what
en
follows. Here
guión para prospectar.
in
Tengo que darle las
prospecting
mil gracias a
guide,
mi
I
querido
need to
Juan
give
Carlos
1,000
Garduño y
thanks to my
Esteban.
dear Juan Carlos
Porque
Garduño and Esteban because
le pedí a él, óyeme, ¿tú
I
tienes
asked
guiones?
him,
Sí,
listen
Rachel,
to
sí
me,
los
do
tengo
you
y los
have a
compartió.
script? And he
Y me
said, yes,
parecen
Rochelle, I have them. And he shared them.
espectaculares.
And I think they are
Y miren esto,
spectacular
miren esta
because
imagen
look
que
at
me pusieron
this.
Juan
Look at
Carlos
what they have done,
y
Juan
Esteban tienen
Carlos and
17
Esteban.
años de
They
experiencia,
have
son
17 years of
excelentes líderes,
experience, excellent
maravillosos. Yo
leaders,
aprendo de ellos todos los
amazing.
días.
I learn from
Los
them
sigo
every
por
day.
las redes sociales, por
I
LinkedIn,
follow
por
them
todos lados. Pero
through
miren esto qué
social media,
maravilloso.
trainings, and everywhere. But look at how amazing
Cómo
this is,
invitar a
right?
prospectos.
How to
Ya
invite
sea
prospects.
a los que quieres decirle tiempo con tus hijos,
Here you
a los que
can
quieren
add time with your
un ingreso
kids,
extra,
wants
¿verdad?
extra
Vean
income.
los diferentes temas.
Look at the different
Económicamente,
topics.
mira,
Economically,
te cuento que este año fue muy duro económicamente. He estado
I have to
ahorrando y
tell you that
buscando qué
this year
hacer
was
para
very
mejorar el
tough
2025
financially.
y
I'm
tengo planes que
investigating
me
what to
tienen
do
muy
from
emocionada.
2025,
A
and I
ver cómo
have
te fue en
plans
relación
that
con el
have
año
me very
pasado.
excited.
Fíjate que
How did
tú
it
no
go
fuiste con
for
la
you
longanisa
related
del
to last year?
X39 de
Now,
la
you weren't talking
tecnología.
about
No, estás
X39 or
levantando de un dolor
technology. No,
y estás
you were
empezando una
talking about a
conversación.
pain point and you
Esto
were
no te
starting a
importa con alguien que
conversation.
te encuentres en
This
un
applies
restaurante,
even with
a
somebody
alguien en
that
un
you
café,
find in a
a alguien en el
restaurant, at a
gimnasio.
coffee,
Este es un
someone
lugar
at the gym.
perfecto
This is
para
a
iniciar una
perfect
conversación,
way of
para
starting a
saber si a
conversation
alguien le
to
interesa.
be able to know if someone's
Bajar de peso,
interested in
si tienes
losing
una
weight,
amiga, alguien en
if
las
you have a
redes,
friend,
etcétera.
somebody in
Fin de
social
año,
media,
¿cómo
etc.
cierras el
End
año?
of
Si viste
year, how do you
planes
close the year?
diferentes,
Look at the
mira,
different,
vieron tus
look at
posts,
this. If
eso
they
en las
saw
redes
your posts,
sociales.
look at
Si
social
alguien en las redes
media.
sociales
If
te sabe
somebody in
escribir tus
social
posts,
media, you
puedes
know that
escribirte
who
por mi
saw your
lado.
post, you
Quiero
can send them a
preguntarte
private message.
si sabes de
Hey,
alguien
I
que
want
puede
to
estar
ask
al
you
lado de
if
los
you know
guiones.
about someone, this is something that
Mucho.
we've spoken
Es
about in role plays a
amplificar
lot,
el tema,
which is when
motivar a
you're
alguien
embarrassed to invite someone directly, you can say, hey, I saw that you saw my post and I would like to ask if you know about somebody that would be interested in earning money from their house with an online business. I have a whole strategy, methodology, etc., etc. So if you know someone, please let me know. Probably the 80% are going to say, I'm interested. Of course, I'm interested. So look at how all of this is here now. Prospecting indirectly. Look at doctors' messages. Doctors that you might not even know. Look, I have a patented phototherapy technology that activates stem cells from humans. I would love to remember that this is in internal social media. That's why we're talking about technology and stem cells. Because before you ask me, I would love to count with a professional like you. You're telling him that, recognizing him and the professional that he is. If you're open to this, let me know when we can talk. Did you see the amount and the variety that there is of different circumstances and situations focused on inviting? There is everything that you need. So, what would I do? Or what did I do when I had those scripts? I did it, I prepared it, I separated it, I have it there. What's a good thing about boards? If you're in social media, in the gym, or sending this to all your list of contents, the contacts, depending on the condition, you go there, you put copy, paste, and send. So I separated it by circumstances like him, and I start speaking to all those people who have been in contact with me at some point in their life. I check their profile, I examine and research, and I send an invitation. That's how I end up with a call. And you can say, you don't need to do that. I do that because I love practicing. I love practicing. Another one of the things when I realized that the multi-level company that recently closed was closed, I started to search it on all social media. What Latin members were there? And I started sending them messages. Two of them said, no, did I die? I didn't die. I continued. One of them, I have a Zoom with her tomorrow. Okay, amazing. I meet her tomorrow. You have to continue trying. What happens? There are some people who say, I'm going to social media. Oh no, it didn't work out. I'm leaving. I'm going to my WhatsApp groups. Oh no, it didn't work out either. Guys, believe me when I say this. I try to even send messaging bird if it's necessary. The reason why people don't try everything is because it's not in their calendar. If you don't have an organized calendar where you put from this time to this time, I'm going to send messages on social media. From this time to this time, follow up with the people I spoke to last week. This time to this time, see a YouTube video. Oh, I'm going to give actually an organizational class soon. Let me know if you would like that, because that is my passion, my great passion. My great passion is organizing, because I have seen the effect in my life. I've seen it. That changed everything for me. It changed everything. Before I would say yes to everything, I learned to say no. Look, most of the people, they feel rejected if they hear no. That's another side, to learn to say no. Because you can't do everything. But if you don't have your goals, I'm going to give the class in two parts because it's important. If you don't have your goals, and I'm going to teach you how I do this in my calendar. Each hour, and people know this, they write messages to me and I reply. But I say, I can't do it. I have this and that. I have this date and that date, and I give it a date. I can't do it. You have to know, you need to know your times and what you have to be doing in that time. In who, in what, and in where. For me, first is God. God is first. I can be doing whatever I want. If my pastor calls me and says I need to go, I will go. If they say you need to share this message, I will share it. My praying time, etc. But the rest of my time, I am building. You're also building. Imagine that they're building your house, that they put a brick and they don't come to put another brick until a month later. Do you think you're going to finish your house? No, you're not going to finish it. So each time that you wake up every day, say to God, guide me to continue putting bricks, the bricks that I need today for my building. Your building of a best life, your building of a business, which is solid, stable, but also your business, the construction of yourself. Listen, in school they never teach this. In school they never teach mindset. In school they never teach productivity. In schools, they never teach to connect. They teach other things.
Entonces tú tienes que ocuparte
So you need to
de las cosas que tú
occupy
tienes que educar.
yourself with the things that
Si
you
no,
need to
vas a seguir
develop.
en el
If
mismo
not,
lugar,
you're
en
going to
ese mismo
continue
lugar.
in the same place.
Cuando alguien te dice no, tú
When
tienes que
somebody
entender
says
tres
no, you
cosas
have
por
to
razones.
understand these
Tienes que
three
entenderlas.
reasons. You have
Primero,
to
no
understand
entienden
them.
el producto.
First of all, they don't
Falta de
understand the
claridad.
product, lack of
Gente,
clarity.
tenemos que
People,
entender que
we
mucha
need to
gente no
understand that
comprende
many people don't
que un
understand
parchecito tan
that a
pequeño
little tiny
haga
patch
todo.
like this can do so much
Porque nos han educado por
because
años y
they have
años que los
educated during
fármacos
years and
es lo
years
único que nos cura.
that medication is the
Entonces
only thing
tienes
that
que
cures you.
entender que es una
So you
responsabilidad
have
de
to understand that
educarte
this is a
primero que todo.
responsibility of
Entonces
educating
no
that we have.
culpes al que te diga que
So
no.
don't blame the one who
Trátalo con
says no.
amor,
Treat them with
edúcalo
love,
y espera.
educate them, and
Aprendamos
wait.
a esperar.
Let's
La
learn to wait.
paciencia,
The
créeme, es
patience,
una de las virtudes más
patience,
bellas
believe me, is one of
que
the
podemos
biggest
recibir
virtues
de la
that
mano
we
de
can
Dios.
develop
No hay otra
on the
manera.
hands of God. There's
Y
no
menos
other way,
viviendo con seres
and
humanos.
especially when we're talking about human
Entonces,
beings.
entiende que
So
el no puede
understand that
ser
a
que no entiendan
no
el producto,
can be that they don't
puede ser
understand the
que no crean en
product.
sí
It
mismos
can be that
y
they
eso
don't
no les
believe in
asusta
themselves.
el
So they're
producto,
not
les
afraid about the
asusta que no
project. They're
pueden hacerlo.
afraid that they can or not do the business.
No creen que pueden.
They don't believe they
Entonces
can.
no es por el negocio, es porque ellos
So it's not
piensan que
about
no
the
pueden.
business. It's because they think
Porque
that
es
they
más
can't.
fácil quedarse de
It's
empleado, es más
easier to
fácil
just stay as an
estarle
employee.
trabajando a otro que
It's
ser
easier to
exitoso.
work for others than to be an
Y la tercera
entrepreneur
razón
on your
es ese
own.
momento.
And the third
La
reason is that
presión.
it's not their time.
Eso
And that's
pasa.
also
Yo
true.
tengo
That
varias
happens.
personas con las
I
que yo
have a
trabajo
lot
que
of
me dicen
people that I've
que
spoken to
mi
from the
visión de la
beginning that
vida
my vision of life
son perfectas para el negocio.
was, oh, they're
Y cuando
perfect
hablé
for the
con ellos,
business. And when I spoke to them,
ay, mira
no.
esto, no lo ven. Perfecto, sigue
Okay, they
usando
don't
eso.
see it. Perfect.
Meses después,
Months
cuando
later,
ven que tú
when they
permaneces,
see that you
cuando ven que tú no
continue
dejas
there,
de hablar,
when they see that you don't stop talking, when they
te
see
ven
your
ahí
success,
recogiendo
when they see
los
you
frutos de tu siembra, de tu
picking up the
constancia,
fruits
de tu
of your
determinación.
consistency, of your
Dicen,
determination,
pero yo recuerdo que me
they
dijo
say,
y
oh,
ahora vienen.
but I
Y
remember that she
regresan
said, and then they come. I have three
y
people like that.
regresaron. Y hoy en día son
And they
parte
came
del equipo.
back. And today they are part of the team.
Entonces, entiende que tú estás
So
sembrando.
understand that
Tú
you
tienes que
are
entender claramente
cultivating.
cuál es
You
tu
have to
pasión,
clearly understand what your paper
cuál
is.
es. Y
Sorry, what your
después,
role is in all this.
no
And your role
desistir,
is
que
not to
compartir lo que
desist,
tienes,
not
lo
to
que esto
stop
hace, a
in
dónde puede
sharing what
llegar.
you have, what this
En
can
serio, cuando
do,
te dicen
how
que
this
no,
can
no te
reach
están
people.
diciendo que no
You're
a ti.
planting. Remember that when they saying no, they're not saying
No te
no
están
to you.
diciendo que no a ti.
Okay, it's
Tú
not to
tienes,
you, not at all.
después de cada
So after
conversación que tú tengas,
each
estaba escuchando
conversation that you
yo
have, I
un
was hearing
entrenamiento
another
de un
training.
americano, ahora no recuerdo el nombre,
He was a
que
North
decía
American man. I don't remember his
que
name, and he said
había que parchar a todo
that
el
you need
mundo.
to
Cada
you
vez que
needed
tú
to
tienes que
patch
hablar con alguien,
everyone. You
esa es
have to
una de
have
las
product,
razones
right, to be able to
por las
patch people.
que
That's one of the reasons
siempre yo le
why I always
invito, motivo
invite,
es
motivate
hagan el upgrade en cuanto puedan a premium,
to do the upgrade to
porque deben de
premium as soon
tener
as
parches
possible.
en mano.
Because
No
we need to
puedes
have
tener
patches in our
parches,
hand. You
tú
can't
tienes que
just
tener
have two
parches,
patches. You need
porque tú
more
sabes
patches.
que el producto, en el
Because you
momento que
know
tú
that
lo
the
pongas,
product, the moment people
no
put it
todo el
on,
mundo va a
not
sentirlo
everybody's
en el
going to
mismo
feel
momento.
something that
Ayer
same moment.
estábamos preparando el evento
Actually,
de
yesterday we
Tulsa,
were
el viernes
preparing the
tuvimos
Tulsa
uno de
event. On
Rejection,
Friday, we have
americano,
an event here
y
in
estábamos
Tulsa
diciéndole a los
tomorrow.
chicos, hey, hay que parchar a la gente,
And we were saying to people,
llegando,
hey, we need to patch
parche,
people as soon as we
vamos a
get there.
ponerle uno, tenemos que tener parches ahí.
Let's have them at our
Cuando
hands.
dijimos
Of
con
course,
nuestra
we need
gente,
to
ok,
patch them.
le pusimos el parche a todos, algunos,
And when we
y
say,
quién ha sentido algo.
let's
Algunos
patch
dijeron,
everyone, who has felt
4
something?
sintieron algo en el momento, o a 2 horas
Maybe
después,
4 have felt something
5,
in the moment, or
3,
2 hours
2,
later,
porque no
5,
todo el mundo
3,
siente el
2,
mismo
because
día.
not
Pero
everybody
por eso
feels it
tenemos
the
más
same day.
razones
But
para
that's
parchar.
why, for more reason, we need to
Hay que
patch
parchar.
people. We need
Porque
to
si no lo
patch.
parchas, ¿cómo
Because
van
if
a
not,
sentir?
how are they going to feel
Entonces tú
something?
tienes que entender que eso es
So you
parte de
need
tu
to
trabajo.
understand that
Que
that's
hay gente
part
que le
of
da
your work.
miedo, no tengo parche
There's people who
suficiente,
are
no,
afraid
la
of not having
economía,
enough
que les cuesta,
patches. No,
no,
the
no,
auto
vendió, oh my
shipment.
God,
No, auto shipment.
mami.
Oh my God.
Imagínate tú si tú vendes papa, no puedes
Imagine if
regalar
you
boniato.
sell
Tú tienes que poner lo que tú vendes,
potatoes,
lo
you
que tú
can't be
quieres que
giving
la
out
gente pruebe.
carrots. You need
Ay,
to
Dios,
give
Carmen, I'm
people what
sorry.
you want
Esa
them
no
to try.
tienes traducción para boniato. Sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Sorry. Tú tienes que tener en la
So
mano
you
lo
need to
que tú
have in your
mueves,
hand
no
what
otra
you
cosa.
are promoting,
Y con
nothing else.
orgullo.
And you have to be
Entonces,
proud.
el no
So the
tiene
no
que ver
does has
contigo.
nothing to do
Yo he
with you.
tenido personas que le asusta que le ponga
I
el
have people
patch.
who are afraid to have the
Perfecto. ¿Tú
patch
sabes
on.
qué yo hago? Yo primero, yo te voy a decir.
Perfect. I
Yo
want you to know
usualmente
that
lo que
usually
hago,
what I do,
yo lo que le digo, Yo lo que le digo es, mira,
What I'd say
me
is,
encantaría que probaras esto.
I would like
Puedes
you to
ponértelo tú
try
si te quieres
this.
ponerlo.
Would you
Y le
like
hago esa
to
pregunta.
wear it or would you prefer me to put it on you? And I
Tómatelo tú
asked
y
them
él
the
te lo pone.
question.
Tómatelo tú y
That's
él te
all.
lo pone. O él se lo pone.
and then they just put it on and that's it. Give them the permission and ask them before. It's that easy. You don't have to, I'm not telling you to grab the patch and come here, I'm going to patch you. No. Start a conversation. I would like you to try this. I have this technology which is patented, and I would love it if I could hear your opinion because I really do value what you're trying because I would like most of the people to try it because I know what it's going to bring to their lives, and I would love to hear your feedback. This has nothing, no drugs. Would that be good for you? When you ask, there is two possibilities, either a yes or a no. Whoever has to be ready for two possibilities is us. So we go back to this. At the end, it's about being passionate and working on yourself, being passionate for discovering who you are. What ability do you have? Because look, this is something that impossibly we can do on our own. Impossibly. It's something that we have to do as a team. We can't do it on alone. And I have to be honest, when I see that in our organization, my direct organization, we have 1,300 people directly underneath us. And I see the calls and I see 130 people, at the most 200 people. I say, how are we going to build? What does that mean? It means that the percentage of the people who are going to work in it is minimum. Not only in these businesses, okay? So you don't think it's about the business. It's in life in general. It's in life in general. My husband and I have been for a long time trying to treat people, work with people, with mentorships, with trainings, with businesses. And there are people who pay and they pay a good money and then they don't appear in class. So it's this human being condition. It's our nature. It doesn't have to do with you. It doesn't have to do with me. I'm here. Whoever is interested is going to come to receive what they have to receive. Who isn't is going to give up halfway, or they're going to think, I don't need training, I know everything. Those are different attitudes. You choose yours. I invite you today to do an analysis. What can you do better? And to do this every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, and yearly. I invite you because it's what's going to allow you to correct not only the business, how you treat others, who you are, what emotions dominate you, how you can be less impulsive, how you can take better decisions, why previously things didn't work well, why everything that I try, I haven't been successful in. When you have tried many things and you haven't been successful, the root is in you. So check that out. Truly, I tell you this with a heart in my hands. Do you want to be successful? In this business where we are and what I'm training you on, analyze yourself, grow, invest in yourself, take action, value your time. Occupy your time in what makes you grow, not in what makes you get stuck. And if you're stuck, wake up today. Open up your eyes today. Take action today. Write today. And don't allow anything or anyone to stop you. Don't allow it to stop you if somebody sold it in eBay or in Amazon, or if you can't say this or that on social media. Don't let it stop you. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything stop you if somebody doesn't want to work in your team, if you reached manager and then you lost it. Don't allow anything to stop you. Focus like horses going onwards, hand in hand with God. Everything is possible. But we are a team. But the decision is yours. I cannot sleep with you. I cannot be on top of you. Get up, search, find, prospect, prepare, practice. It's in boards, it's in YouTube, it's in school, it's everywhere. You have it in front of you. You see us every day doing it. I'm not saying anything that I don't do. I'm not going to say to you something, to do something that I don't do. Never. Because I talk from my experience and I've fallen many times, but I can tell you that I've never stayed on the floor. And I never will. That's what life is about. Exactly about that. That's the beauty of life, that we can always do things better. And here you have the support at all time. So ask yourself, why did you enroll? What is it you want? What do you want to reach? And all this week, we're working mindset precisely because of that. Because if you think what you think becomes what you say and what you do, and what you do becomes in the design of your life. So you need to start checking from step number 1, which is what do you have in your mind? For you to be able to start transforming what you say. If you don't have the trust and the only thing you have is the thought of, oh no, now the company saying that you can't say this or you can't say that, now I don't want to do, now they said no. Check yourself, change this, reprogram, and you're going to say something different. It's going to be an amazing day. God is going to put the correct people. I will prospect, I will have patches, I will coordinate, I will organize an event. I am going to search for support in the city that I'm at, and you're going to be successful. Yes, we can do it. We can do it. So let's give it all we've got. Okay? Did you invite prospects? We have an opportunity call now, so let's go to that opportunity call. So we're not late to our date. Okay? I'm sending you a big hug. Take care. Bye. Thanks for everything.